All right, there we go.
Okay, great. And I think Bill was saying, or excuse me, Jack was saying last week that something came up and his mind was like, I think I need to do this. And he did it. And it was having to do with the pipe going into his home.
That's right. That's right. It was the pipes. Yeah. And I have that all the time. But I always, you know, I think we all just repress it so much that we don't trust it.
There it is, right there. There it is, trusting. And I mean, we're going to talk about emotions today because many of you, when we were doing this last exercise, it was about what are you feeling? And so many of you are like, I don't even know what that means. So we want to take a look at that today and really help you dive into those emotions. And the really only true way you can get connected to your soul is through your emotions, okay? Okay, my Siri is about to go off.
Hey, Lori, I think you have a really low bandwidth internet connection.
Is that what it is?
Your video is blocky, and then your audio is distorted sometimes. Are you far away from? Are you far away from your Wi-Fi access point?
Is she stuck?
I think she's gone.
Am I gone?
Nope,
You're back. You're back now.
Okay. It probably took a minute to switch. So I switched over. Let me know if it, hey, Tom, I got to tell you, I got my turpentine today or yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Oh my gosh, that stuff, it's subtle, but it works fast.
Yeah.
How long did you take it?
Oh, I think initially there's this lady on the internet, Dr. Daniels. I think initially she said you could take it every day, like I think it's half a teaspoon for a week, or maybe just 4 or 5 days initially, but then maybe just once a month maintenance.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
She's got some good
I
videos.
kept looking and I couldn't find anything. So I'm taking some turpentine to get rid of parasites. So it's pretty subtle and nice. And I know that sounds weird, but anyhow, getting back to our
Can I stop you, Lori? Lori, let me stop you and just,
right,
I want to tell you that there's a message coming up, at least on my screen. Do the others see it? That says Lori's bandwidth is low.
Oh, you actually see a message?
I saw a message printout that said Lori's bandwidth is low.
Yeah.
That's probably because you're the host of the Zoom.
I forgot to put her in as a co-host, by the way. Oh, thank you. Just a second.
I think she said she just switched access points.
I went to 5G. I don't know if that helps.
It should help.
Am I still cutting out? How's my voice?
It's a little better, but not all the way there.
Still not there. Hey, Tom, where do you live out of?
San Diego.
Okay. All right. Okay, so as Charlie was talking about how many times he gets little nuggets of information here and there, how many of you have those?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So for example, you are dancing and you decide while you're dancing, it'd probably go easier if you did this over this. And you don't do it and it messes up the dance. But had you done it the way that you intuitively got something that said you should do it this way, it worked out perfectly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think I usually listen.
Okay, that is psychic ability, intuition. I think what Charlie is saying, so many times he gets it so often that he takes it for granted or advantage of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So again, when I'm asking you guys to say, I am psychic during the week, just a mantra, I am psychic. How is that going?
I sometimes forget to do it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I
And
do
then-
it. It's just, it's not, a regular thing. It's, when I remember to do it, I do it.
And then as far as your thoughts, have you monitored to see if they're positive or negative and what's going on there?
I'm pretty positive. I don't really have too many negative thoughts anymore.
Mine have certainly decreased. I know that.
I'm more
Go ahead, Jack.
I'm more positive.
Okay, I think consciously we always like to say that we're positive or optimistic and all of that, but if you ever watch Bruce Lipton, he talks about between the ages 1 to 6, we are nothing but sponges. And at 7 is when we start getting consciousness. So whatever we took in within those first 6 years of our lives, we're just a sponge just soaking that information in. And we learn that that is our behavior from that point forward, not recognizing maybe our perception might be always either looking for a negative or always waiting for the other shoe to drop or always waiting for something else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So today's class, we're going to look at some of this area where we might be perceiving something, for example, like we want to be psychic, but we're not allowing ourselves to be psychic, okay? And we're going to muscle test or douse whatever is more comfortable for you. I think it's important to do what you're comfortable with, but I'm going to teach you 2 ways to see if it works for you. And we may have to step out of our pyramid for a moment, okay? Who muscle tests here? No one?
I have.
Okay, I was going to say, even in the homework I gave you guys, there's like a whole page of different ways of learning how to muscle test. Did anyone try those?
Well, I did my own muscle testing.
And are you confident with it?
Yeah, I guess not.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd say yes.
We're gonna do something here. So let's everybody just stand up for a moment.
Oh boy.
Okay, so the first muscle testing, I want you to put your elbows close to your like rib area. On your right arm, your elbow into your rib area. Good. And I want you to hold like a bucket. Got that? Okay, so now say a yes and hold tight, and say a no and push down.
Could you say that again, please?
So you're holding your wrist upward, like you're holding a bucket. Jack, yours is upside down.
Say again. That's my. Here's my right.
Yeah, your hand is upside down.
Oh, you want it that way?
Yeah. So hold tight for yes, and then push down for no. Everyone see that? Anyone having issues?
No.
Okay. So now I want you to say your name and see if you hold tight.
Tom.
Yeah.
Okay? And then say somebody, you are someone else, and see what happens.
Goes right down. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Is that good?
Yeah.
Tom, You look a little,
I didn't feel
it
it.
didn't work.
I
Okay,
didn't-
I'm gonna, Jen, did it work okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, Tom, I'm gonna have you put your left palm on your forehead. You're gonna put your right palm on top of your left wrist, wrap your fingers around. You're gonna release any perception, belief, subconscious, all conscious areas where you may not believe your muscle testing will work. So we're gonna release anywhere where you may not feel like your muscle testing won't work. Okay, you can stop holding and try it again.
My name is Tom.
Okay, so you've got to have your hands back where you muscle test, right?
Isn't that it?
Okay, I'm seeing you still in your probably old form. There you go. Okay, yes, there you go.
That's your bandwidth.
Okay.
It's Tom.
Say you're Teresa.
My name is Teresa.
And it's still strong?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have you try a different muscle testing then. So standing straight up,
I'm strong with any name.
well, release anybody's energy that maybe you're taking on. Okay? And now I want you to say a yes and see which way your body moves, forward or backwards.
What are we doing?
So you're standing with your feet the width of your shoulders, and you're asking the universe to show you a yes, and you're letting your body just be like a pendulum, and it's going to move in a particular direction. Which way did it move?
I don't think I moved.
Okay, so ask to be connected to the universe or the divine consciousness or Christ consciousness or whatever you want to use. Ask to have your ego let go. And then ask the universe to show you a yes, and then ask the universe to show you a no. Anything there?
Seems like I went backward for a yes and forward for a no.
Perfect.
Is that okay?
Whatever works for you. Let that be yours. So say your name and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, seems like it maybe worked.
Okay. How many of you douse? Show me a hands of dousing. Maybe I need to get to my other computer. How many of you douse? Okay. All right. And then dousing is like pendulum, Tom? Do you do that?
Do I douse? No.
Okay. So those of you that douse, you can also use your dousing, but whatever works for you, okay? So earlier, Charlie sent out this for everyone. Did everyone get this?
I
No,
did.
What day did you send that, Charlie?
Just about an hour ago.
Oh,
Not yet.
All right. So for our next, if Charlie wants to put this on the screen, can you do that with your, you're going to do it that way. Can you do it with putting it in, you know how we can see it, like put it on the screen?
I could do that. Yeah. I'll take back the control and put it up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, that's perfect. What we're going to have him do is put it on the screen for us, okay? So as he's getting that ready, I'll try and talk, and hopefully my bandwidth will work. But what we're going to do is we're going to find out if we have any hidden or trapped emotions that we need to clear, and that way we can release those hidden and trapped emotions, and it'll get you back onto course to trust your own intuition, okay? So for Jack and Bill and Charlie, you guys can douse to see if something is hidden or trapped, and you start with column A or column B. Wow, you're doing that fast. Good job.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Lori, what was the question again we were supposed to be asking?
Okay, first of all,
There, can everyone see that now?
perfect. Okay. So here, Bill, what I'm going to suggest is that the first thing you ask, if you have hidden emotions in your body that you're unfamiliar with, just douse that to see if it's a yes or no.
Yep.
Okay, so if you get a yes, then what you want to do is say, is this hidden emotions, is it in column A? And then douse that. And it could be in column A and it could be in column B. So you just see what you get on A and B. And then you start going, is it an even row or an odd row? And it could be all of them. When it came to, for example, money for me, all of these emotions on this chart were lighting me up. So recognize, depending on the type of hidden emotion or trapped emotion in your body, it could be all of these. And what is really good, for example, for the purposes of this course, I want you to ask if you have a hidden emotion having to do with psychic ability.
Well, it's official. I'm an emotional mess.
Me too, Bill.
Bill, that's quite all right. This is what's good. This is a good tool. This is an excellent tool to uncover these things, because once you uncover these things, you'll be able to sense other emotions in other people. And look, I've been doing this for over 15 years. And even when I did this the other day, I was telling people I eliminated from my body 3 times after I did this. It was so huge for me. So just recognize when your body is so, trapped with these emotions, that's how a lot of illnesses start, because the emotion is trapped in the liver or the kidney or, whatever area it may be that is causing some havoc in your body and not allowing it to flow. We as humans are not our body, but we tend to think we are. We're spiritual beings just utilizing a vehicle, and the vehicle happens to be the body, okay? Jack, how are you doing on this?
Good. I'm still finding stuff.
Okay, good. Good. And you know, it'll be a work in progress even after the class, which is perfectly okay. It's easier sometimes to do it on your own and allow it to happen. What I find is when you find these energies, and I'll show you here in a minute how to clear them out, but once you do that, you kind of have an experience that comes to mind as you're trying to clear it out. So it's really surfacing as you clear it, which is great. So, Tom, are you doing okay?
I think it's in column A for me, but
Say that one more time.
I think it's in column A.
Okay, so for example, you have a hidden emotion in column A.
I think so.
And I get that's true. Okay, so then if you ask if it's in the odd rows or the even rows, or maybe both, what do you get there?
I think it's in the even.
Okay, so then you just ask 2, 4, or 6, and it could be all of them. Charlie, what's happening?
I'm not getting any no's.
Oh, yeah, I had that the other day. I couldn't believe it. I do this for a living, guys.
Oh, is this what you were trying to tell me? You're getting all these blockages for me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's easier for me to ask which ones I'm not affected by, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. And again, remember to ask a topic. So it could be in relationship, it could be in career, it could be in finances, it could be in friendships, it could be, you know, in people that have died. I mean, it can be in so many areas of your life that you want to focus on. This morning I was talking about parents, mom and dad. Even though I've been so far removed from them, I still have stuff in my energy having to do with my dad that had to do with, boy, I can't, Jen, do you recall which one that was? I can't recall which one that was.
With your dad?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so now that we know about these energies, we're gonna get rid of them, okay? And I'm gonna give you several areas. Oh, I don't have my purse here. Okay, anyone got a magnet? You don't need one. Don't worry about it. Or you can take your 3 fingers here, and for every emotion, you got to do it for each emotion. So say, for instance, if it's in heart or small intestines, abandonment, column A, you're going to go abandonment. And you're going to go 3 times for the word abandonment. Okay? And you can use a magnet going on your head. But what I often love to do, and the reason why I have to do this, it's kind of like Bruce Lipton's Psych K, but for me, when you're holding your meridians together, all of your meridians, clearing your emotions from your body and your mind, with that left palm on your forehead, right palm on top of wrist, and your fingers around, and releasing each one of those emotions that way. Okay?
Left.
Now, Jack, I don't know if you're willing to share, but you had that interesting dream this week. Did you have any more dreams this week?
Well, I had one.
Yes, Charlie, left hand. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, there you go, Charlie. So you want your left palm on your forehead, right where your third eye is. Yep. Yep, that's good. And then you want your right, okay, I'm doing it opposite. Left palm, right palm on top of the left wrist, and then your fingers wrapped around your pulse. It's important that your fingers are wrapped around the pulse. Yeah, and then think of every emotion individually as you're going through it. So what was interesting is Jack's emotion was where there was like a water coming down the mountain, but that was dried up as well. So to me, it seemed like he's trying to get in touch with his emotions, but he didn't know how to get in touch with his emotions. And you were using a snowplow and a particular type of snowplow, right?
Correct.
Very interesting. How are you guys doing? I'm clearing out. Is it
And
working?
we just think of each one of these and go down the list?
You do. And then what you want to do is either douse or muzzle test again to see if you've cleared it.
Okay. All right. I see.
And when I do this, a lot of times I find myself getting hungry before I clear it out, because it's like the emotion is surfacing and it's bothering me so much I want to eat. So take note of what's happening to you when you do it. Does anyone want to share what they're working on?
4.
Okay, so you're doing liver and or gallbladder. And is it in column A or B?
B.
Okay. Okay, taken for granted is still the one that's left that I feel.
Okay.
Is there a particular topic you're working on?
Yes.
Okay.
About the Benjamin thing.
Okay. Oh, isn't that ironic? See, I didn't know what you were doing, and yet I don't know if you can feel this. You have very constrictive energy on your left side of your body around your kidney. Can you feel that?
Mm-mm.
So it's the left lower back area, and that's always about money. Tom, you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I was working on A2. I thought it would be A4, like resentment, but I think I'm kind of told me A2.
You know, there is some nervousness I'm feeling in your system. And, you know, the other day I had this because I was concerned that people are going to play the victim. And for whatever reason, when they do that, I took on their energy. And so I had to get away from that. So that was one of my things I had to clear. It's so interesting. So when we talk about nervousness, what would that be about? Do you know? What's the topic you're using it on?
Nervousness? Oh, maybe not being healed and being a capable person, you know.
So
Strong.
you're still having issues with your hip?
You know, it seemed like I felt a little shift on the day we talked, and then maybe the day after, and then maybe a little bit late Friday and Saturday, maybe I was detoxing or something, so I did feel a lot of pain.
All right, I want you to stand up again and let's muscle test this. that your hip has to do with column A or column B.
But I figured I was detoxing, so I took a bath for like an hour yesterday, and I feel pretty good today.
Oh, so you don't have any issues. Okay. But that's a good one if you start feeling it again, because all our body is doing is reacting to our mentality and our emotions and creating a physical reaction to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in order to be psychic, you have to let go of all your own perceptions, all your own judgments, all your own stuff to allow whatever is going to be given to you. And it's never anything but love. Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
Okay. How are you doing, Charlie?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you look overwhelmed.
Well, I wear it all on my sleeve here. I'm doing these like A1, A2, A3, A4 to test, and then I'm
Okay.
just focusing on each one of them as I'm trying to remediate, and then
Okay.
it seems to be working group by group.
Great.
But
And Bill, I don't see you clearing anything. Are you doing okay? He's deep in thought.
Who are you asking about?
You?
Oh, me? Well, that's funny because I've been clearing, so
Oh, you're clearing with the dowsing. Is that what you're doing?
yes.
Fantastic. Do you feel it working as you're doing it with the dowsing?
Well, I'm getting confirmation.
Okay, good.
Whether that's
Have you
really
cleared
working
with
or
the
not is
dowsing
another
check?
issue.
Have you done
Say again, Lori?
that? Bill is clearing with just dowsing himself cleared. Have you tried that?
I haven't done that as of yet, no, but whenever we talked the other night, I did some clearing, and it's not showing up right now as when I douse it, so. And
Okay.
I have run across this before using the magnet, but I don't know if you need a strong magnet or not. Or whether it takes-
Sometimes you do. Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Okay, so if you can do it more to the center of your camera, there we go. What is it? It's your dowsing chart?
Yeah. So it's a dowsing chart. I can send everyone. It's free. It comes in a little PDF, and I find it very interesting and very useful. And it's a really easy way to get involved in dowsing.
Can you send Charlie a photograph of it on his phone through text, and then he can put it on the screen?
Well, I'll send him this PDF.
Oh, perfect.
It's called Robin, A Letter to Robin. And,
Letter to Robin.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I have to say, there's someone in class that does telekinesis and another one here levitates. So I love that about you guys. And I won't share who does that, but if you want to share your story and how you do that, I'd love for you to do it. No takers?
I had trouble hearing you, so I'm
me
sorry.
too.
Okay, so there's someone in the class that can do telekinesis and somebody that can levitate. If somebody wants to talk about that, I won't bring your name up, but if you'd like to share, that would be great.
Okay, so I think I have telekinesis. I'm not sure, but I've noticed that I'm pretty good at finding golf balls when my friends or I hit them in the weeds. And a lot of times I'll go over an area and then I'll come back to it and the ball's sitting there. So that's one, and there's other instances of that. So
Right.
kind of
That's
a weird
amazing.
talent, but I can't complain because it doesn't cost me a stroke.
That's always amazing.
Should just put it in the hole.
Yeah, that hole in your pocket, Bill, is that in your right or left pocket? Where you drop the ball out down your slacks?
Now, Charlie, let's be fair. My initials are not DJT, okay? I'm going to say.
I always love when people have talents that, and you know, Bill and I talked about this. I do telekinesis sometimes and not even recognizing I do it. Like, for example, if I remember one time a waitress, I was so concerned her stuff was going to fall out of her pocket. And I'm like, it's going to fall. And I said this to a friend of mine, and he watched it. He said, you did that. She didn't do it. It didn't fall out of her. It, you know, and it happens like that a lot. If I think about it, I can't do it. If I don't think about it, and I have a passion behind it, it'll happen. And I think I've talked about this before. In my dreams, I'll fly all the time. And yet, if I know, or if I consciously think, hey, I'm flying in my dream, I get grounded. And I'm like, I can't fly. And I thought, why does that happen?
Isn't that an OBE?
It is. It absolutely is. But something in me stops me from continuing to do it. And if I don't think about it, I can do it again.
Wow.
I remember hearing Wayne Dyer talk about doing a meditation where he started to levitate. And then so he thought he would tell people about it, say on the Tonight Show. And he said he was never able to do it after that.
Yeah. It's because you allowed the consciousness of the belief of people not believing you to overwhelm your own conscious. Does that make sense?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's why. So for example, if you surround yourself with people that don't believe in psychics and you're trying to learn your psychic ability or trying to enhance it, there's going to be some difficulties because the consciousness of them is going to discount any positive beliefs or feelings or things that you may have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've always noticed if I go into a session and somebody's completely closed in their mind and
I think we've lost her.
Laura, your audio went out.
Maybe we're supposed to hear her psychically.
read my thoughts. All right, so everyone comfortable with this?
No one could hear you.
I can hear her now.
Is everyone comfortable with this, the emotion code chart? You have any questions about it?
I think what I heard you say, I think I've cleared it, because now when I ask the question, I have emotional blockages with respect to psychic development on this chart. I get a no, but that doesn't mean that I don't have them for financial issues or some other issue. So every time I have an issue, I'm going to have to go through this chart, correct?
Yes, but what a great tool to be able to do that. You can even find out if maybe someone else's emotion, like say for instance, you weren't getting sales on your pyramids, and you go, is it something of my emotion or is it somebody else's emotion? And you can find out if somebody else's emotion is preventing you from the sales of your pyramid. So, I mean, you can do things like that that are very helpful. So not only, just think about this, just really dive in and think about ways that your emotion can create something and somebody else's emotions can create something. My heart was closed this morning, and I found out somebody else closed it. And I had to find out what the reason and the energy behind that to open it back up.
So let's take the pyramid example, because I'd like to sell more pyramids right now.
Right.
Would I start by asking, there is another person's emotions that are hindering my sale of pyramids? Would that be?
And I get a yes. I get a yes.
I do too.
Okay, so then we say, is it in column A? I get a yes. Is it in column B? I get a no. So I don't know what you get there, but it's you that needs to do it, not me.
I'm getting the same readings. I don't know if it's because I heard you say it,
Okay.
but I don't think so.
So I'll let you do the next one. Is it in the odd rows? And then is it in the even rows?
I'm getting odd rows.
Okay. And the only row that I got was number 6. So humiliation, jealousy, longing, lust, and overwhelm, and all of those resonate with that. But I would continue with what you were doing as well. And continue with this.
Well, now when I check just row 6, I'm getting a positive. Yeah.
Okay.
And these are emotions of other people in this case.
Just think about that. And it even fits. If you fit into, somebody might be humiliated that you're selling these pyramids, or jealous, or longing, or lust, or overwhelmed. You could probably think of several experiences that might have came up since you started doing this. And not only that, but what would happen if this just exploded and you were doing this everywhere all the time, constantly, and really changing people's lives? Now, who would that affect? How many people would that affect, right?
Yeah.
So my next question would be, is it more than one person doing that?
Yes.
And I get a yes as well.
Yeah.
So then you start looking at, what are the negative powers out there that definitely don't want that happening?
Okay.
Right? It
So,
gives me
Lori,
heartburn. I get really bad heartburn in that.
Is your clearing technique able to remove hexes and spells?
I can remove attachments, hexes, spells. I can remove pyramid energy. I did that all week long. I did nothing but pyramid energy I was clearing.
I've got a question about that, Lori. So
Yeah.
when we sort of identified maybe a negative attachment with me, or whatever you want to call that, could you see it and see that it wasn't there after you cleared it?
Okay, so for me, I rarely see things. When I do, I love it. I think it's just so awesome when I get to see something. but I mainly use my emotions and feel. And here's the thing. So you and I are talking, and I don't tap into your energy until I go, okay, so he's giving me permission to tap into his energy. And then I say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your energy? And I get currently it's a 10. Well, you're underneath the pyramid. Every time someone sits underneath the pyramid, their energy goes to a 10 immediately, which is where you want to be all the time. So it is really super amazing that if you're having a bad day or you just get home from being overwhelmed, to sit under this, because it'll raise your frequency right away. But
Is that true? Is that true for all of us right now?
all of us, yes, all of us. So the next thing I would say is there anything I need to look at in his energy? And so I'm just kind of giving you an idea how I troubleshoot. And then it goes to, you're currently going through a transformation that is overwhelming you. And there's a part of you that doesn't want to die. You don't want to let go of the old Tom to go on to the new Tom. And I'll have to say, I know what that's all about. Transformations are difficult, and sometimes you have to let go of people that no longer serve you, jobs that no longer serve you, food, habits. You know, there's a ton of things you may have to go through to remove, to move on. You may have to move, you know. You may have to move locations. I don't think that's true for you. The main thing is issues with fathers. You really need to let go of anything.
You dropped out. I can't hear you. Your audio stopped. Oh,
With dad, Tom. Did you hear that?
no, I didn't hear any of that. Go ahead and say that again.
With your dad. Anything that crops up with your dad, you need to let go.
Yeah, he just passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah, so sorry, but I mean, anything that pops up, you're going to have to like really work through it and really overcome it.
Okay.
Okay. And then if I say, is there anything else? I get that you need to travel more, that you're too much of a homebody. So that's what I'm being told.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all I got today. And all I did was, you know, kind of troubleshoot through your energy. Anyone else?
Have I cleared my taken for
Taken
granted?
for granted? Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess I'm unclear when we're going through this clearing process, the importance of column A, column B, odd rows, even rows, and why I can't either, number one, do it all at once, or two, why I shouldn't do it individually.
You know, that's a good question. My thing about it is you could try and just completely do the whole thing and then go back to see if you got it all. I would try Bill's technique. Did you find that chart online by chance, Charlie?
I haven't, I haven't looked yet. Let
Well,
me-
you got
Charlie, I sent you an email.
Right there. Can you search
Okay,
that?
I'll go look for it now. I gotta take the other chart down, so.
So Lori, one of the things that I found with these issues is that some are, you know, like on a scale of +10 to -10, you could be anywhere in between.
So say for instance, if you were overwhelmed, it's not necessarily on a 10, it could be on a 5.
Yes.
And that means what to you? Does that mean it's not that big of a deal?
That just, well, it could mean you're just balanced. You're not you're not too far in either direction. So I clear my meridians every day, and I just muscle test with my pendulum to see if there's any issues I need to address or clear. And I also do that with my chakras.
You want to share those things that you do?
Well, I just, I sent Charlie this
Okay.
chart, and hopefully he'll spread that around because I don't have all your emails.
Yeah,
And he
I'll
does.
do that. Do you want me to put it up now, Bill?
It's up to you. I mean,
Yeah, let's put it up.
there's not
Okay.
enough time for everyone to read it because it's like a 30-page PDF, but it's interesting to read it. And
I'll at least show it
like-
to everybody. Hold on, let me get it. Oops, wrong page here. Let's see.
If that enhances our ability even more.
Here we go.
Oh, well, good Lord. You sent the whole thing. How nice.
Yeah, this is like 29 pages, so. Is there a specific page you want us to reference here, Bill?
Bill just left the meeting. There he is.
He probably hit a wrong button. There.
Oh, that's too bad. Let's see here.
It's towards the end of the PDF.
Oh, down at the bottom, do you have this as well, Jack?
Yeah, I have a copy of this.
Is this what we're looking for?
That's
Yeah,
it.
we're looking for the chart at the very end, Charlie.
There we go.
There it is.
That's the chart he was holding up.
There
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me
The
see.
chart, a headache.
Okay, let me check it out.
Let me see if I can get this to a size where we can get everything on the page.
Jack, how old is this?
Oh, it's been around a good while.
Yeah, it's probably 20 years old, but it's really good.
There we go.
Only 20?
So, like I was saying, so you could ask, is it in column A or in column B? And then you get a column A. And then you just ask, is it, what row is it in? And it'll tell you 0, 1 through 6.
Oh, that's great.
Is this the proper page, Bill?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
And so you have the pendulum where the dot is in the center, correct? And then it'll move to where you need it to go.
yeah, if you've never dowsed before, you want to get your pendulum moving on a 45-degree angle, like it says on the chart there. And then, if your yes is up and down, it'll go yes. And if your no is across, it'll go across.
Well, this is fantastic. Thank you.
I will ship this entire thing out after the class.
Fantastic.
And then,
What? Yeah, headache, Lori.
Well, that was the thing. I thought maybe it was a previous life, but they're only saying it's 20 years old. It might just be the black and white. Have you ever checked your eyes? The black and white does something to your eyes?
No.
Okay. Because like the last one was blue and it was pleasant for me, but I kind of agree. It's kind of like tense on your eyes. And then really quickly here, if like Bill, when you douse that your perception is positive, do you get a yes on that?
if I do what?
If you douse to say my perception is a certain amount of positivity a day, what do you get? Let's do it that way.
Okay. My
So
percentage.
it'll go up to the upper right quadrant of this, right?
Yeah, so what's my perception of my what?
What is your percentage of your perception positive wise?
I get a 7.
So you were
70%.
saying that your perception is positive, but on a scale of 1 to 100, it's 7?
A 1 to 10.
70. 1 to 10.
Okay, so
70%.
it's 70%. Okay, so that's pretty good. So if you test like my perception on this 1 to 10.
I get 10 out of 10.
Okay, and then is anyone else want to time?
I'm
Does
sorry.
anyone else want to check their perception?
You're cutting in and out.
Does anyone else want to check their perception and have Bill check it out?
Sure.
So Bill, that's Tom.
Yeah, I'm getting a 6 for Tom.
Okay, Bill, how about Jack?
And let's see, Jack. Jack, I'm getting like an 85.
Bill, how about me, Jen?
And Jen, let's see. A 7 or 70.
Okay, me too, Charlie.
Yep, Charlie. A 60.
Okay.
Okay, now that you've done that, Bill, you're saying that this dowsing, you can make us all 100% perception?
I can.
Let's do it.
Okay. Individually
Everyone
or
game?
together?
You can do it however you do it. This is wonderful. Thank you for doing this.
All right, so first, I'm going to scramble, cut, remove. And I'm going to spin my pendulum counterclockwise. Scramble, cut, remove all negative frequencies, vibrations, energies. Remove all toxic metals, parasites, viruses.
You know, I can feel everything you're doing.
Now I'm going to swing, now the pendulum's swinging clockwise, and I'm going to invite the spirit of love, happiness, gratitude, health, and prosperity, and raise our energy to its highest level, which is optimal for each one of us. Okay, it's over.
Awesome. Thank you. Now that we've done that, is there anything someone would like to do, as we're all very high frequency and we'd like something to change that we could all consciously like put our energies together and do?
How about I don't know, something to do with the California fires? I don't know.
Ah, that's the perfect one. Perfect one. Let's do that. So why don't we imagine that all of us are able to, put water and snuff it out?
Can't raise the humidity.
Okay, so Bill, if you'll douse and have all our energies do that, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Everyone on board on that?
Yes.
On board.
Okay, I'm going to invite the spirit of community and invite the elementals of rain to put out the fires in California and raise the energy of the people involved so that they're no longer in fear.
And no
Okay.
harm. If we can get it so people weren't harmed in that situation, that'd be great. Whether it's firefighters or the people.
Okay, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great idea. All right, so we're going to work on this week. Next week, we are going to break out in sessions, and I'm going to try and keep the people that are close together to have the breakout sessions together. That way, if you guys want to work together more, you can after the course. I think after this is done next week, we should try and do it once in a while to see how everyone's doing, like once every 6 months, and get together and maybe see how everyone's working out with this, if that is okay with everyone. And I know Charlie wants to give anyone and everyone information about you and your email so you guys can chat together. That's only if it's okay with you. Just let him know if it's okay with you.
Okay, Bill? Well, let me just add, Tom, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, Jen's okay, I know. Jack's okay. Lori, all right, good. Okay, good deal. I'll get everybody who's on this call an email out with everyone else's email that's on the call.
Jack, I sent you an email last week.
What's that?
I say, Jack, I sent him an email last week.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you did send me one. What would it be under?
That Charlie gave me.
Jen Dang.
It'll be under jendang@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll look for it. I get so much crap on my phone. I hardly get the emails. And I do better. A friend sent me an email. I said, check so I know you sent.
Okay, so what I want to do next week in the breakout sessions, and I don't want to make anyone nervous here, but what I want us to do is we're going to have A, B, C, and square, triangle, circle. And so in the breakout sessions, you're each going to try and do a little guessing. And it's not that big of a deal, but I want you guys to really work with this and really imagine the pyramids connecting with one another and doing this. I'm going to have you do another exercise while you're in it, more like connecting with one another. It'll be probably just 5-10 minutes in a breakout room, and then we'll bring you back in. But I don't want anyone to get nervous about it or have anxiety about it. It's not a big deal whether you guess right or not. Most of the time, I can't guess it right. So, but it's just a good way to practice and really, I used to do this with my kids all the time. What color am I thinking of? And they'd tell me. And usually when they don't think about it, they got it right.
I was doing that with cups. I had numbers on them. So,
Oh, very nice.
So I was trying that today in lieu of the exercise with the bottles because I couldn't really find. Once I touched the bottles once, I couldn't use them again because I knew,
Right. How did everyone do with that?
Well, I did pretty well.
1 out of 3.
That's good.
when I was doing this with the cups today, I couldn't see the backside, so it was pretty fair test. I was definitely above random. You know what I mean? If I had 3 cups, I was getting it about half the time, and if I had 4 cups, I was getting it maybe a third to 40% of the time. So I was definitely above random.
Oh, that's great. That is perfect.
Need to get somebody to do the shell game with you so you can see whether you
That's kind of what this is all about. I can move them around and not know where they are, and they're all identical cups, so it's pretty easy to do that way. But,
And then Bill, what'd you get?
Well, I use my cards, so I just tested to see how many black cards or red cards I got right.
okay,
Now, do you
same
douse
idea.
and do that, or you do that psychically?
Oh, I use my pendulum.
Okay. So do you ever know the answer before your pendulum?
Oh, no.
So you're really relying on that pendulum.
Well, it's just, it's an extension of me now, so.
Sure. Sure. You're confident and it works well. I think it's great. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Well, on that exercise, one of the things that Carol and I did yesterday, she has a lot of Essentia bottles for bottled water, and some of them are filled, some of them are empty, and she would kind of rotate them around. Now, I would put my hands kind of around the bottle, and both she and I could both get that 100%, whether it was full or empty. So I'm wondering why I would be able to do that more effectively than random cups, for example. Is it because I'm feeling an energy probably from the water?
Well, my only other thing is you were around Carol at the time, correct?
Yeah.
I think sometimes, like, for example, if people are around me more, they feel more psychic and they do get their intuition better. My thing about with you two together, you may be intuitively in tune with each other that then enhances your intuition.
Could be.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have a question about this. If somebody is blocking you, does it
Okay.
matter if you know who it is?
It's not really important, but if you find out who it is, it might make sense to you, right?
It might what?
Make sense.
Uh-oh.
And your emotion that you might have in common with this person might be easier to release or get rid of.
Well, I can understand about somebody blocking me psychically because most of my family members look at me with askance whenever I say anything like that.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
But they don't believe it. It's all brought up that it's fake and phony. And
Or they could be in fear, or they feel like it's against the rules or religion or whatever it may be.
so whenever you're,
In class, I had an earlier class today, and the guy said, in the Bible.
You're
you-
breaking up.
I'm breaking up again. All right, guys, I'm going to have to find out why that is.
Yeah.
Did you hear me then?
I'm still getting that bandwidth error for you.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't either. Well,
Is it still showing now?
yes, it says Lori's network bandwidth is low.
And can Can you hear me okay now?
We can now, but we couldn't before.
I turned off my Bluetooth. I don't know why that would be on. Yeah, here I got this new computer hoping it would really make a difference. It was faster, that's for sure, but as
Well,
far
now you're perfect.
okay, great. Jack, back to you. What were we talking about?
When someone other is blocking you that knows you or whatever.
Yeah, remember earlier I talked about emotional blockage that you may have in your body and it creates some disease?
Yeah.
Well, I had that and the emotion wasn't coming from me, it was coming from someone else. So the minute that emotion was cleared, things cleared up really quickly for me.
So you'd have to go down the whole list after you find out that somebody else is blocking you. You have to go down the list to find out what that emotion is to clear that.
Give me an example what you're asking, Jack.
Pardon me?
Give me an example of what you're asking. What are you asking me?
Okay, so let's suppose that we'll use the example of being psychic and somebody is disbelieving.
Okay.
So let's say I've got 3 brothers and 5 sisters. Let's say that every one of them, well, I don't know about you, Jack. So there's disbelief.
Okay, so
Well, does one clearing or do I have to do 8 clearings, so to speak?
yeah, I don't feel like any are coming from your brothers. I feel like it's coming from your sisters. And how many did you say you had?
I have 5 sisters.
So who was the 4th sister? If you went down the rank and she was the 4th one, which one is it?
My sister Debbie.
Okay, and that's the one I feel is blocking you out of all of them.
Okay.
Now, when I say that, does it make more sense that it's her than anyone else?
Well, they all kind of look at me like I'm weird.
Well, like you're the black sheep, but that's okay. I have that as well. The thing is, you know, I'm a happier person than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I can't say that for them. They're taking antidepressants and drinking a lot. So,
So Lori, is in Jack's case or in all of our cases, could we also use something like Ho'oponopono?
absolutely, it works all the time. You know, even I was in a store earlier this week, and this gal overheard me talking to someone I used to work at the railroad. And so I went to the register, and she says, "Well, I heard you got laid off there. What do you do now?" And then I told her, and she started going on to say that her boss isn't. She lost a lot of people through cancer recently, and she couldn't make it to work that often. So her manager's mad at her, and she thinks she's going to get fired. And I told somebody in the class said something about love, and I said, just think of love. Every time you think of that person, think of love, and just do that constantly. And she looked at me like I was crazy, but
It works.
I mean, the Ho'oponopono works so well. It's unbelievable, and people don't quite get. There was someone in class that was giving her ex-boyfriend love to just kind of soften the energy between them. He reached out to her this week, which she hadn't heard from him in weeks. So just by doing that one thing, it you know, made the energy between them nice. But Ho'oponopono does that. If you guys don't know the story, it's Dr. Hewlin that started this, and he had a sane asylum where he would never look at the files at all. His
Right.
nurses would come and give him files, and he would look at the diagnosis and start doing Ho'oponopono to heal himself. And when he was healed within himself, the patient was then healed. So never looking at the patient, and then they're healed on their own. And eventually, he worked himself out of a job, right?
Yeah.
How do you spell Ho'opono. How do you spell that?
It's H-O''Pono.
Thank you.
And, you know, they have YouTubes in a way that I say it is kind of different than everyone else says it. But once you get a flow of how to say it, and it's similar words, whatever works for you. And my suggestion is always look at a photograph. So when you're looking at the photograph of the person and you're doing it, it oftentimes, you know, it creates, you know, emotions and brings them up and brings them to the surface, and then they release. So, Bill, you're saying this emotion code, body code that I was teaching today is similar to the Ho'oponopono, right?
Well, I was just saying that the clearing part.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. The
Well, I mean,
clearing with that.
The
I think
chart
that's
you
more
gave today
effective even.
is a great dowsing tool,
Yeah, it is.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's really what we're doing. It's just I use a pendulum, you use your arm, you could use your fingers, you could sway. There's all sorts of ways to douse. The same thing though.
Well, and if you guys don't know how my body does it, in 2007 I did a prayer called the Vishnu Dharani prayer. It's Hindu. You do it for 9 days. You repeat it 21 times. It takes you about an hour and a half each day to do it. It's all in Hindu. I ended up receiving an energy that my body would vibrate when someone said something that was truthful, and it would not vibrate if someone said something negative. So recently I'll just give you an example. I was reading something about digestion. And when I was reading it, my body resonated all the way until it got to pancreas enzymes, and it stopped. And it was explaining to me that my pancreas enzymes aren't working. So I went out and got some pancreas enzymes, and it's just kind of interesting how that works. But
What was the name of that?
you guys hear me?
What was the name of that
prayer?
prayer? Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom,
can
I'll
send
send
to
it
you.
out.
Okay.
I'll send everybody a copy of that as well.
Thank
Did I
you.
give that to you, Charlie?
You did after our interview. Do you remember? I put it on my website.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
My suggestion is to get 21 pennies. So when you do the prayer, that you know how many times you did it.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know, I will say this in front of Lori. I don't know if you remember this, Lori. I had an instinct that this could be a class in and of itself. I do not have the knowledge of the Indian languages, and there's a bunch of them, to be able to pronounce all these words. And so it's very challenging for me to do that, but I want to try to commit to do this because I think something's telling me this is a really important prayer.
It really is, and there's a form of ritual you do it when you do the prayer. You have to have wax paper writing down your intention. You have to have like a cauldron that you douse the paper with holy water and then light it on fire. And then you do the prayer. And you do that for 9 executive days. Consecutive. I don't know what I just said. I think it said executive. Consecutive.
Charlie, will you be sending that out what she just described, what you have to do first?
Yeah, what I'll do is, I mean, all of that information is with the prayer, all the information she is just talking about. But when I send out the replay today, I'll throw all of that stuff in there. I'll throw everybody's emails and together, and also include that prayer.
So I was already psychic before I did the prayer. And what I find so interesting is when I receive this ability, it's kind of like you're dowsing. I utilize this more than I did my other senses that I used to have. So.
Lori, a question that I know you can't answer back to this clearing technique, but roughly how often do you think we need to come back and re-clear these situations?
No, here's the thing, like once you do the situation with your pyramids and selling, for example, if you're still not selling them, I'd still go back until I do this on a daily basis. I'll say, you know, if I've got a busy signal as to why I'm not having clients, will you take the busy signal off? Well, I'll get a call right away or I'll get a text right away. So sometimes you have to recognize that even your own energy is doing something. I hope you guys heard me. Did you guys hear me?
Repeat it, please.
Okay. Okay, good.
Would you mind repeating it?
I would keep doing it until you start getting. I
Okay.
would keep doing it until you got the sales you're looking for.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah, but I look at things like you and I have talked about doing a book along with the pyramid on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I think we're really close to that. We need to stick with it and not let it go to the wayside, you know? If there's energies that are distracting us from doing that, we need to look at it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What else? Anyone have anything else? Anyone else want their energy looked at?
Yeah, I was wondering, yes, along the same lines, if someone is sort of psychically attacking you, can you answer that question? And if you clear them, do you have to do it again and again and again, like every day?
Okay, so the prayer I got, the Vishnu Dharani prayer, was from a guy named Dr. Mitchell Gibson. I watched a video one time, and the way he laughed was so infectious that I went and got a book. And then you can see him on YouTube. He's just a very interesting guy, but he was a medical doctor, and now he does this. And I had a session with him one time, and this was very profound. So this is going to answer your question. I felt there were many people in the psychic world doing psychic attacks. And he said to me, no one can ever do that unless you're allowing them to do it. Nobody ever has power over you unless somewhere along the line you allowed it. So you have been looking at in this lifetime or previous lifetimes where you might have allowed it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You do not have any psychic attacks on you. I cleared that one earlier in the week, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you tell the difference?
Well, yeah, I thought I felt lighter, and then I kind of got the idea, well, you know, maybe my body will just heal from now on. So.
That's a great thought to have. Just have that constantly, because if you continue having that, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I figure if it just healed a little bit every day, I'd be going in the right direction. So works for me.
Good. And you may ask, how do I clear energy? Nobody has said that, but I'll tell you anyway. I find the exact frequency and the terminology that my guidance has given me, and then I give it off like a prayer. So I pray for it to go away. Now, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But most of the time, and it's probably 99% of the time, the energy is cleared.
So the attack happens at one point, but then we end up just holding that distortion in our field, and then that needs to be cleared. Is that how it works?
Right. Say, for example, I clear a lot of people that get hexes. And a hex is no more than somebody yelling at you with all these different emotions, and you took it on. You're like, yeah, I feel guilty or bad, or I feel stupid, or I shouldn't have done that, or whatever it might have been. And their behavior isn't acceptable, but for whatever reason, you allowed it. Nothing. Come on, downstairs. Am I cutting out again?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
Your lips aren't moving.
Oh, what did you hear, not hear?
We didn't hear much, Lori.
You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna get on my phone.
Sometimes we hear you and your lips aren't moving.
Hang on a minute. Do this.
Bill, are you out of San Diego?
No, I'm in Colorado.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and your video is better resolution.
Ah, okay.
Well, now you got an echo.
Yeah, why is there an echo? Hang on a second. I
You
know
need
why.
to turn off your computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Right now. All right, there we go. All right.
She's alive.
Yay!
That's right.
All right, what didn't you guys hear? Where are we at?
Everything.
That's right. So we're starting over.
We are starting out.
Yeah, we don't know what we didn't hear.
Okay. So Tom said something. What
It's
did
an
Tom
unknown
say?
unknown.
What did Tom say?
Oh, the last thing I said was about things getting stuck in your field, maybe from an attack.
Okay, so you cannot be, nobody can attack you unless you allow it. You took on whatever their energy was. I was saying when they don't respect you, they attack you, they hex you. Well, anytime someone has an issue with you, they really need to be respectable and say something like, you know, Tom, when you did this, this really hurt my feelings. And I had the expectation that you and I were like something, and then I'm getting the feeling like we're not something, so you're making me angry, you know? And really you'll find out that that's not your problem. But, you know, people have a tendency to do that, and you take on the energy because either you feel guilty or bad or sad or, you know, angry, whatever it may be. And my thing is, a good way of doing that is just sage your body. That's a good way to get rid of that. But the hexes are a little bit more, curses are a lot more. And the only way someone can curse you is if you really gave them that, like, Tom, if for whatever reason you gave me power and you were afraid of me, and I decide I'm going to curse you, and get a voodoo doll or out, something like that. Now, first of all, nobody has any more power than you do, or me. For example, nobody can have that unless you allow it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we all have different powers, but nobody can have power over you.
I think maybe it would occur if you're in an argument with someone, some kind of conflict or argument. Maybe you could take on that energy.
Right. True.
So how would you, if you've given your power to somebody inadvertently or whatever, how do you take it back then?
Okay, so that's a really good question. A lot of people give their power away when they're intimate with somebody else. And it's not like they wanted to be, but somehow you were wanting to fix them or help them or do something different for them to maybe so they're more positive or a better person, or maybe they'll change. I mean, whatever it may be. So my suggestion is find out what you did and release it if you took on their power, and allow and just try and allow any powers. And we do this in class all the time. We use Archangel Michael to cut ties that anyone might have to your power, to your psychic ability, to healing, to your psychic vision, to your alternate state and dream state. I mean, we do this stuff all the time because we are such intricate beings and we have so many different amazing talents and abilities. And my guidance has always given me terminology. So mediumship is one thing, clairaudience, clairvoyance, psychic vision, prophetic visions, psychic ability, healing, manifesting. So all of those things, we look at where maybe somebody has someone in that energy, and maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, the energy is low, we make it high. So, the dowsing chart that Bill was showing would be perfect for something like that, to clear all energies out. And sometimes you can't just say all of my talents and abilities. You have to be specific. So that's a good question, Jack. Anything else? These are good questions.
Oops.
What you clearing, Jen?
Jen,
She's got her phone muted.
Jen, unmute your phone.
Something with Bhutan.
Oh,
The country?
The person I met there.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, you're talking the country. Okay.
well, and to give you an example, I was just in Italy and I had some issues, and it turned out in a previous life as a psychic in Italy, the king set off with your head. So I had to clear some energy having to do with that. So all of that, when I went back to the country, seemed to surface in my body. It's fascinating how that happens. People, places, and things can do it.
So it's a constant clearing for all of this, because life happens to you and things crop up again and again.
Well, it does. And we're not just looking to clear for the moment. We're looking to clear for lifetimes, because I don't know how many people come and say to me, I don't want to come back and do this again. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do it whether you want to or not. So, I mean,
Well, I
I hear that
understand.
all the time.
I understand in the emotion code, whatever you clear in yourself clears your ancestry.
Right. And
I can't clear stuff in myself that will do it for my daughter, but she could do something for herself and clear it in me.
now I'll have to say this. Jack, because I was talking to Charlie early in the week and I was telling him a story and I could tell my energy went dark. And I muscle tested, and it had to do with my youngest daughter. Made a deal with my ex-husband. My ex-husband said, I'll give you $200 a month and a dog if you'll come live with me and write your mom off as you don't want her. You don't want to be with your mom. So they did all this behind my back, and I received attorney letters saying this is already a done deal. I didn't have a say in any of it. And I muscle test that I was still angry at my daughter for betraying me. I mean, had she just had a conversation with me and said, hey, Dad's going to do this and I really want to do this, I probably would have said, okay. But because she just decided to do that, and then she came back later and was angry at me because I never appeared in court and fought for her. Well, I didn't even know about it. You know? So, and when I talked to Charlie, I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe my energy did that when I said something to him. So I had to clear it out of me. Now, when I clear it out of me, it's going to clear it with her. And that's what's huge. You just don't realize where clearing things out like that will change it. And I bring this book up a lot, Be Here Now, where Ram Dass went to a guru, and the guru said that a woman wanted to be enlightened. And she was, tantruming and acting like a little child, saying she wanted to be enlightened. And the guru said, no, you don't. And she insisted, and the guru enlightened her. But she found out that the vibration was so strong and so harsh and so fast that she lost her husband and son in a car accident. And that's how things work. It's a pebble in the water creating a ripple effect. So when you change, it changes people around you.
Yeah, I was just watching a Greg Braden thing. We're talking about the quantum energy and how the quantum particle was just here now.
We're all a part of the Big Bang, according to Greg, right?
Yeah.
I think
We're all entangled.
Nassim Harriman has maybe a better model. He says that it's like a holographic universe where everything inside the proton, the mass inside the proton is actually equal to the mass of the universe. And so that explains all the entanglement.
Right, and if we get right down to it, if we had the best telescope possible, this wouldn't even be looking physical to it. This would look nothing but, energy, right?
Yeah, if you take every physical go down to its as far as you can go, you'll be seeing nothing.
Right. So we should be able to put our hand through this pyramid with no problem, right?
We ought
Not
to.
there yet. I'm sure the pyramid will get us there soon, though.
Well, let's hope so.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. All right, if that's it for the week, thank you. We'll meet next time, same time.
No, don't leave yet, folks.
Oh.
We have to sing happy birthday. It's Lori's birthday today.
Hey, Charlie, one more thing. I didn't know if you want to bring up the Lecker. Did you want to bring anything up on that, or do you want to talk about it later?
Oh, we can talk about it later. I'll just tell you in general, I'm in touch. Carol has done some stuff with the Lecker antenna in the past, and she's a great practitioner. But I'm in touch with some people in Europe who, are researchers as well. So I'm going to be doing some stuff showing the energy fields of the pyramid with the Lecker antenna and some specific frequencies. I don't know if I'll have it done by next week or not, but if you want, even after the class is over, I'll be happy to send out an email with a link to it when it's done. But one of the things that we find at the top of the pyramid, as an example, quantum physics says that the spin is going so fast that time and space kind of become one up there. And we can call that unity, we can call it divine energy, but we can demonstrate that with the antenna. There's going to be some other energies as well. So we're doing that research, and hopefully we'll get that done pretty quickly. We've ordered some books, and I have a woman who's going to be doing an interview with me, I hope, here fairly shortly on this topic.
And then you did mention that parasite frequency was 9.1.
Boy, you're good. Yeah.
I was just telling Tom about it, and I didn't know if it was it hertz or what frequency?
Kilohertz?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's the way these things are, for the science people, they are done the actual chart is done in centimeters, but there is a conversion into frequency that is done. There's a conversion
Wavelength.
to convert it into frequency. So, all of that stuff that's to come, but yeah, it's in the book, and I can show that to people.
Hey,
Here's
Charlie?
anyway.
Would it be possible to do a video on how to use the Lecker antenna?
How to use it?
Yeah.
Well, see, I am not an expert on it. Carol is, but she, like I say, she's so good as a practitioner, but she hasn't been trained really in the frequencies and the math and all that stuff. That's why this woman I'm trying to interview is going to be important in our understanding. So she gives classes on this as well. There are some places that you can go on YouTube, but quite honestly, most of the people who use this, who have YouTube videos, are from India. Not that there's any problem with that. It's just hard sometimes to understand them. And anyway, I'm going to be putting up some information when I talk to her on this video about her training classes. I'm also in touch with some other folks. So all this is kind of information that's coming shortly. So.
Yeah, I got one from India, but it came with no instruction.
Well, I used to sell those. I'd import them and then redistribute them in the States. And I quit doing it because, I found one book, and I'll just show it on the screen here if you can see it, which is this book. It's called A Practical Guide to the Lecker Antenna, and it's written by a couple or two people from Canada, but I'm in touch with a woman from Belgium now who's living in Ireland. She's done work on a number of megalithic sites using the Lecker antenna, and so we're going to be, that's why I want to talk to her, but she's also got training courses. I haven't seen them yet, but I know of them, and that's why I got in contact this week. Did we lose you, Jen?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, I have a question for you and Lori. So when I was sitting in the pyramid with my cushion, like meditation cushions,
Yes.
I got a lot of activities on my head. And then now that I'm sitting in the chair, I don't feel much or any.
I'll take a stab at that. I would expect something different from the energy fields, because the power, the concentration point should be about halfway up, and it's about halfway up, and we'll be showing this in some videos where this frequency 1.1, the unity starts. So I can't really explain that. Maybe there's a
Well,
grounding
Well,
idea
I
that
thought-
might come up from that.
I thought it was grounding, but the crystals in the bottom of her pyramid is what I'm resonating to.
Okay.
So what are the crystals in there?
Well, it's
Sand,
just
quartz.
it's just high quartz content sand. Just very clear, pure sand.
So that, for whatever reason, Jen, is actually giving you some psychic.
Wait, repeat that, Lori.
It's giving you psychic vision when you sit close to those crystal quartz.
So I should go back to the floor.
Well, my suggestion is get some more crystal quartz.
Okay.
Yeah. You could hang some, you don't have a custom capstone, I don't believe, but people who have purchased those, or if you hang crystals from the top of the pyramid, you can do any number of things to enhance that at the top of the pyramid, short of buying a custom capstone, but that's also an option. But I would get some crystals and try to hang them from the top and see if that doesn't enhance your field.
Could she
Okay.
put sand in the vertical poles?
Tom, I used to do that, but it gets pretty heavy, and I don't, from a product liability standpoint, I don't want to be responsible for somebody, breaking their head open or something, if they move it and it falls apart. So I've just kept it down to the base. That's why I would suggest hanging crystals or other gemstones, or getting a custom capstone. I did, by the way, if you all are interested in that, I did a video about 2 weeks ago on EMF remediation. And Jack, I know you were using your dowsing rods, I think, to go out and see how far the pyramid energies worked. And we kind of came up with the same distances with the Lecker antenna. I mean, we were getting EMF remediation out to about 10 feet, depending upon the pyramid itself. With no enhancements, we were getting about 5 feet, and then we were getting about 8 feet with the sand, and then we were getting past 10 feet when you included the custom capstone as well. So, it's about the same thing you were getting.
Lori, is this okay for me to put on top of the pyramid?
Oh, that feels really great. Can you feel that even when you're holding it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's huge.
To put this on top of the pyramid?
Well, like he says, on top or even hanging right there,
Well,
either one.
Yeah, you could try putting it on top or hanging it with a piece of string or something.
Okay.
How about apophyllite, Lori?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I wonder if each one of you may have a different one that would benefit you better. Like for you, I'm getting that, and I don't know if I'll pronounce this right, but lapis or
Oh, lapis azul.
yes, that one. Thank you.
What is it?
Lapis azul is blue.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Tom, you would do good with a pink quartz, and then
really?
Bill, you would do good with a citrite.
With the what?
Is that what it's called? Citrite or something like that? It's like an orange.
Citrine, like yellow?
Oh, that's it.
Citrite.
Yeah.
So I have these lying on the floor of my,
So that's obsidian,
Pyramid.
right? Okay, so you've got,
obsidian, lapis, rose quartz,
yeah,
fluorite.
you're missing the one you need. But all of those feel,
Okay.
all of those really feel good when you're holding them. So that's all good.
What about
And
me?
And it's really good. Let me just say this. It's really good to get the crystal in its original form, not shaved down, not, you know, polished or anything like that, just so you know.
What about this one?
Okay, see, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've told Charlie this before. I don't like any pyramids like that at all.
Because it's the Giza.
I don't like the energy that I feel like when you hold that, it stops your energy altogether. I don't like it. So just, I mean,
You don't
So-
like that?
okay, so douse that for a second.
I have.
And what do you get?
And well, it's lower energy
Yeah.
compared to the Russian.
There is something with those pyramids that energetically, and people would put money on them and put that on money. And I'm just like, they're ruining the energy. It's just, there is something about those types of energy of pyramids that it almost negates everything.
What about this thing? It's a radionics device, actually. You plug it in.
I'm getting a
Move
very
it up higher, Tom.
I'm getting a very neutral thing on that. I'm not getting a positive or a negative. So
Did I plug it in? Okay, now it's on.
Oh, there you go.
Pyramid.
it's doing something to your pancreas.
Something bad?
I would say negative, yes.
It's supposed to help you sleep and for EMF.
And has it done it?
I thought it helped me sleep better.
Okay. Well, if it works for you.
Well, no, I'd rather listen to what you're saying.
I mean, have Bill douse it. Bill, is that positive for him or negative?
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Lori.
That's beautiful. I don't feel anything with that.
Okay.
It puts out the Schumann resonance too.
I'm going to get something. Hold on.
Okay.
It's show and tell.
What else you got, Jen?
This one?
I got that it wasn't good for Tom.
All right.
Wow.
Jen, that crystal
Now, that's
is
a very broad question, so you got to be very specific when you're dowsing.
what else would you
So
like to ask?
Does that help Tom sleep at night?
No.
No.
Maybe.
No. It's the placebo effect there, Tom.
I have two things I would like to have doused if possible, Bill.
Okay.
That's beautiful, and that feels good. I can tell you that, Charlie, right now.
This is the custom capstone that it's the standard custom capstone we provide. You can purchase for the pyramid.
You know what?
So what do you want to know about that, Charlie?
Well, I guess I'm just trying to see if it's well, I know it enhances the energy field.
Okay.
But
Does it enhance the energy of your
Oh, what
pyramid?
happened?
Yes.
Okay, ask if it enhances his core of his body.
Does it enhance his core of his body? Yes.
Can you feel that when you hold that, Charlie? Because it really does. From your root chakra all the way to your heart, I can feel a solid strength that I bet you could do more workout if you were doing workouts,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel a definite. This is very powerful. Now, I've got another one, and I'd like you to test this one. See, I don't get. This is an
not as
organite.
strong.
This is an organite pyramid, which is built on the concept of Wilhelm Reich. It's not in the Russian geometry, number one, but it has metal. You know, Reich's orgone generators had alternating levels of metal and then non-metallic materials. But
All right, Bill, ask if that has stopped his energy, and then ask if it's blocked his energy.
Maybe we just hit the spot right there.
No. No.
How
That
about
it?
this? How about this, Lori?
Okay, you got to come back. I can't see you.
did Bill, what happened to Bill?
I think he's still there. Yeah, he's still there.
Wasn't he dosing something?
Yeah.
The capstone.
Jack, no.
How about this?
Wait,
Yeah, that's good for you.
Oh, a generator. Tensor
This is,
ring.
These are
Did you get that
tensor
from
rings.
Charlie?
I got this from,
Go to tensorring.com. That used to be my website.
yeah, this is from the other guy.
Yeah. Twisted Sage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's good, huh?
Yes, it is positive.
I like it.
So
Now,
Charlie, here's the
I would put that on
uh,
your solar plexus when you go to bed. See what happens there.
What's up, Bill?
So the first pyramid had a energy enhancement to your pyramid of a magnitude of 3.
This.
That one. So 3 times more energy.
3 times.
3 times.
Okay.
And the second one didn't have any magnification. It wasn't negative, but it wasn't overly positive either.
Wow. But this was 3 times.
Yes.
So
That's
Bill,
amazing.
did you ask if it blocked his energy on the second one?
Yeah, it doesn't block.
Huh, I wonder what I'm getting there. Okay, if I specifically ask you, does it block money?
Yes,
Okay.
but not his energy.
Did you get that?
It blocks money?
Mhm.
I better get this out of the house.
I would destroy it. So,
No, gift it to your competitors.
oh,
Well,
there you go. Give it to Sage. What was that, Tom, where you got that?
Twisted Sage,
There we go.
No, they're nice guys.
they're great guys. They're fantastic. So, well, I mean, I really appreciate this because, Lori, you're getting the same kind of read, right? That this is worthwhile.
I am.
Okay.
And when Bill said what he did, I resonated to what he said with the other one. So
Yeah.
I needed to be specific on what it was blocking, and that.
Yes.
We tested, we've done a test with those 2. I have not put it on a video yet, but this one does not have any positive impacts on EMF remediation, whereas the pyramid itself most definitely does. And it's even stronger. As I said, we went as far as we could across the room once we put this on top, and we ran out of space in that video. So we don't even know how far it would work with this capstone on top.
What is that is that capstone made out of resin, or what is it?
Well, it's a resin. My partner who makes these can tell you, but there's some, I think there's magnetite in here. There is a layer, this kind of brownish or tannish layer is what's called bionized sand. Reich came up with a concept that if you froze and boiled something alternately 3 times, that these bions that he determined were really, I guess, pieces of energy, or like the quantum pieces of
It's
energy.
life force.
Yeah. So I'd need to ask more about that, but I mean, this is, I believe, magnetite. There is a stone up here, and I'm not sure what's in it, to be honest. But
Does
Did Lisa make that?
what's that?
Did Lisa make that?
Yeah, this is one. This is one of Lisa's capstones. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Does the resin have a smell to it, or is it completely inert, not volatile?
Well, once it's set, it's not volatile. It has a smell when it's setting.
But you
but
can't,
not
you
now.
can't smell it.
No, you can't smell anything now. It's totally inert.
Yeah, because the resin I had on that thing that they said was no good, I could smell stuff, and always kind of worried me.
Yeah,
Maybe it wasn't good quality resin.
yeah.
I don't know who Lisa is, but her heart is blocked.
She's the capstone lady.
We need to talk about that. Yeah,
Charlie, how much higher does that make the pyramid?
6 inches.
Wouldn't fit in this room.
Yeah, yeah. I've designed this to where it will add 6 inches of height to the pyramid.
My pyramid's 9.5 feet tall.
That
Wow.
one is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Large?
So actually, the posts are actually 10 feet and
Yeah,
maybe two.
that'd be about right. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're not going to be traveling with that one, Tom.
No, no.
Oh, it'll break down.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll make another one for my bedroom, since I'm going to get rid of the other device there.
That's a good idea.
I made a 5-footer, so. Or Charlie, do you have a 4-footer?
I started making a 3-footer.
3-footer.
I make now a 3-foot, a 5.5 foot, 6.5 foot, and 7-foot stock. I'll make anything custom. The 3
How
feet.
far away do you have to be from a pyramid to still feel its effects?
We feel the effects of all of those pyramids all the time. You're talking these here that we sit in?
Yeah. Because I have one in my bedroom, but it's not next to my bed, but it's in my room.
Now, are you asking Charlie or me? Because I feel them all the time in my room. And I can feel the effects of it everywhere I go in my place. And now my place isn't all that big, but I mean, you're going 30 feet away here and there. I can still feel them. So I know.
To say that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know that Charlie had that test done, that Carol and Charlie did that, but I still feel it even further away from that.
Yeah, exactly. We ran out of room in our room where we were testing.
Okay.
So would it be fair to say that the EMF protection is really the energy of the pyramid?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
And that it goes out 30 feet depending on all sorts of variables.
Well, and we're also talking height and levels. Like, for example, I'm in a 3rd-story apartment building, and I know it's going all the way to the bottom of this apartment building, and I know it's going up quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
So just imagine that energy is helping a large area of people without even recognizing that it's helping them, you know?
The Russian government did studies with some of the large pyramids they built, and they were able to determine that through radar, I believe, that this one of these it was like 144-foot pyramid was affecting the energy field as far away as 100 kilometers.
Wow.
That was with highly sensitive equipment, but they, and I'm not sure exactly how they they did that testing, but that's the research summary that's out there. They also said that it would take, they did a calculation that it would have taken all of the electric power plants in Russia to generate the energy field that the 144-foot pyramid was generating in this space around it.
So Charlie, when are you going to start up a pyramid community?
I like that.
I do too.
Well, all kidding aside, it's one step at a time. I'm in the process of I've incorporated. I'm now starting the process of setting up a nonprofit turning this corporation, Pyramid Science Foundation, into a nonprofit. So, I've just started with LegalZoom, and they're going to be submitting that paperwork. So, all kidding aside, I mean, I want to make this a really, significant thing, and that's my vision, so that we can, if we're going to do something like that, we're going to need to start building bigger ones, and that would be communities too.
Yeah, I thought this was cool today, or during the week. I forgot to do the exercise I had everyone do last week, if you remember, putting love in your heart and then putting that energy of that heart frequency out 50 feet all the way around you, and then adding the quantum field. Everyone do that this week?
No.
No.
Okay, so this is what was
I have
so
a
cool.
problem. I don't even feel love.
Oh, okay. Okay, so how many of you don't feel love?
I can't say I don't know how.
Boy,
I
Tom,
don't.
that was a big sigh there.
Oh, so I don't know. I think sometimes it's a challenge to kind of clear everything away and zero in on it.
Give me the most favorite thing that ever happened to you in life. Anyone, I don't care who.
Where we felt love?
Yeah, or felt just such a good feeling.
Well, I was the most wonderful experience of my life. I remember when I went to college, I went down for a blind date to Boston, and this girl I was with, we walked the Freedom Trail in Boston on a beautiful spring day, and I don't think I've ever felt more, I don't know if it was in love, but it just so peaceful and wonderful as that day. I'll never, that was the kind of the nicest day of my life.
Okay, perfect. That's a perfect thought to have in your heart when you're trying to put that frequency out. How about Bill, Tom, Jack, any of you have like your favorite like car or bike or something like that that just makes your heart sing?
Well, one year I was out in the woods hunting deer,
Okay.
and I sat down on a log, and it started to snow. There's big puffy flakes, very gently coming down through the trees. And as I was sitting there, 7 deer come down, and they were maybe 50 feet from me, and they're eating. And it was a very peaceful feeling right there.
Okay.
And so I
Well, I had psychic.
So
I
Jack,
had sort of a psychic experience when I was like 17.
okay.
So I was working at this ranch in Wyoming, and these 2 girls, approximately my age, came to visit with their families, and they left. And I remember sitting up on a rock, and it was a full moon, and I thought to myself, wow, wouldn't it be great to see those girls again, And woke up the next morning and went to the pool, and there they were. And I was like, what are you doing here? I thought you guys had left. And they said, well, we had problems getting to the airport, so we decided to come back to the ranch. So that was kind of an unusual event.
But one that feels good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. And then Jack, I just want to make sure you didn't kill any of those 7 deer, right?
No.
I did not. They were all no.
Okay, all
I
right,
was
thank
thinking
you.
that too.
Here it is, such a peaceful, beautiful setting, and you
Thanks.
decide to take Bambi out. It's like, all right. So just imagine that just for a moment. We'll just do this again right here, right now. Just imagine those beautiful moments of that open heart, open love experience, putting it out 50 feet in front of you, and then just marking like a big circle around you. Good. And we're just going to add the quantum field in. And as you have that field in there, I want you to think of all the things that you would like to have happen in your life. Just do a little at a time. And you should feel a pulsation when you're doing this. And just do some deep breathing. And so what I was trying to tell everyone is I was doing this while driving the other day because I forgot to do it I try to do it when I first wake up. That's the first thing I do. I try to do it when I first wake up. And so I was on the interstate doing this. And then after I was done, I thought, I wonder how we can get more sales for Charlie. And then Charlie calls me. I said, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of you. And he's like, yeah, what were you thinking of? That was it. So that was pretty cool. That is the quantum field.
Cool.
So also I want to say on this video, for those of you that do not show up in class every week, and if I have not talked to you, I really like to talk to you, clear energies out, make sure you're meditating 10 to 15 minutes under the pyramid, monitoring your thoughts, making sure they're positive, saying your affirmation, I am psychic, and then just continuing to focus on your emotions.
Cool.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
We're doing gym testing here, right?
Is that it?
Yeah, for now.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lori. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Anymore.
Thank you.
Should I keep that on the recording?
Yeah, absolutely. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All
Are
right,
we done?
thank you, class. I will see you guys next week.
All right.
Thank you.
That's great.
Ah, and
Thank
that
you.
222.
Thank you.
Yay.
Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.